In this first video on our series on the kings of Rome, we will be covering the myths concerning the founding of Rome, starting with Aeneas and his part in the legend of Rome's creation. In the Aeneid, Aeneas was born a Trojan, being the son of Priam's cousin, Anchises, and Venus, the god of love. When the Trojans lost the siege of Troy, he managed to flee and sailed to Italy. After sailing around the Mediterranean to found a city twice, but each time he failed due to plague and disaster, Aeneas ended up in Carthage. During his stay in Carthage, he met the Queen of Carthage, Dido. During this time, Venus made Dido fall in love with Aeneas. However, this ends when Aeneas is forced to continue his voyage to Rome by the gods. As Aeneas leaves Carthage, Dido curses Aeneas and all his descendants as enemies of Carthage. As this epic poem was written after the Punic Wars fought between Rome and Carthage, the cursing of Aeneas and his descendants, who would be the Romans, as enemies of Carthage, may have been an attempt by Virgil to explain the Punic Wars as having a mythical background. Eventually, he reaches Italy, where he met the Sibyl, who led him to the underworld. Whilst in the underworld, Aeneas sees images depicting great heroes of Rome who would later become real people. This likely would have been an attempt by Virgil to show Rome as being destined for greatness. Like many other moments in the Aeneid, it was meant to inspire loyalty and patriotism to Rome, and not to be a historical account in any way. Having done this, he fights a war against the Latins and Turnus, and having won this war, he finally founds the city of Rome. There are many details of the Aeneid which I have missed here, as the story of Aeneas is most certainly not a historical one. However, it does provide context for the Romans' belief in their destiny to expand civilization and their classification of all other nations as barbarians. However, this is not the only foundation story of Rome. Another existed. This one concerned the twins Romulus and Remus, who, according to the myth, would also found Rome. However, their myth is very different to the Aeneid and bears no similarities. Romulus and Remus were twins. They were originally the sons of the Vestal Virgin Rhea Silva and Mars, who was the god of war. In the kingdom of Alba Longa, a king whose name was Numitor was deposed by his younger brother Amulius. Amulius decided to kill those that he thought were a threat to his power. Among these were Romulus and Remus, who he ordered to be thrown into the river Tiber. However, the slave who was ordered to abandon them did not throw them into the river Tiber. Instead, the slave left them on the banks of the river. However, a she-wolf saved them, and eventually they were rescued and adopted by the shepherd Faustulus. When they came of age, Amulius became aware of Remus's true identity and put him in prison. However, soon Amulius was killed shortly after, and Numitor was reinstated as king. After this, Romulus and Remus set out to found a new city. After founding the city, a dispute occurred on which hill it should be based. Over time, this dispute became more heated, and Remus was eventually killed by Romulus, who named the new city Rome. This has been our first video and our first video on the kings of Rome. There will be new videos in this series very soon, so make sure to check for the next video. Our next video will move on from the mythology and cover what is known of the early history of Rome and its kings. For now, Valete and Ave SPQR!